Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, December 4th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol PSQH, absolutely monster move today, and monster move as I speak. I mean, this thing is pushing to new highs. So a lot of good volatility in volume and in a very popular price range. Although I will say that from a, kind of a, how do you approach it? Not a whole lot you can do with it right now. I mean, I suppose you could go out there and try to buy right there, or buy at the open or, what have you. But then you got to be a little careful of, are you chasing? Are you going to be the sucker that buys the top? But to be fair, people that bought right there, they did not buy the top because this thing kept on, moving, and they got, were able to trade out of that. But at the core, their two main ingredients are here. The main ingredient, first off, good, solid volume. The second ingredient, good, solid price movement, right? A stock or something can have a bunch of volume, but if the price barely budges, then from a trading standpoint, not a whole lot you can do with it. On the flip side of things, a price could be really volatile, but then you look at the volume and say, whoa, there's like nothing there. That's a great way to get stuck in a liquidity trap. But both those things are in play. Now, if it were me, I'd probably want to see some sort of pullback, because at least if a pullback happened, then you'd be able to say, okay, yeah, pullback here, but there was a nice explosion. Okay, now I got a bull flag pattern. So yes, it's more of a kind of a wait and see what sort of patterns may develop. But at the end of the day, like I said, great volume, great volatility, and like I said, a very popular price range. So if that fits your criteria, then definitely keep an eye on this one. Next one, GWAV, nice mover today, and a very interesting afternoon. As you sit here and look at this trend line here, just quite the uptrend can be drawn now. So let me change that to green to represent support of that essential. It's been eventful, but it's sort of been quiet relative to quiet relative to this movement right here, where the thing just absolutely exploded up. But I mean, to be fair, from down here in the mid 50s to then up here in the 70s, from a percentage standpoint, that was still a really nice percentage of this movement right here. So that's why I say, relatively speaking, compared to this movement over here, quiet, but it's slowly creeping higher and higher. So it becomes very valid to think, well, is this thing getting ready to at least retest those highs, if not go even higher? And that's where the key area of resistance comes into play here, which, in my opinion, right up there around the 83-cent mark. So keep an eye on 83 cents if this slow little grind continues. But as far as the health of the grind, it's very straightforward to watch. Keep an eye on that trend line. As long as the price stays above that trend line, then the health is plenty fine. But all in all, whole lot of volume today. And for those of you that like penny stocks, here you go. Next one, SMCI, started off the day very nice, but then had the bigger pullback here. To be fair, it did recover and went sideways. A little bit of a drift right here. So it's this afternoon price action that stands out to me as an area where you could potentially put together a trade plan, namely that trend line right there. And I want to be very clear, I'm not trying to impress you. That's not supposed to be some sort of secret great discovery. I don't have impressive skills. And I say all that because a lot of people are probably watching that exact same level. And when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some dynamic movement. So no guarantees, but is it plausible if the price comes up here and breaks up through it, that break could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly more than plausible. If the price does decide to continue to pull downwards, then the main area of support to watch very closely is going to be that purple line right there. 50-period moving average currently valued at the $38 mark. Next one, MSTZ, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watch a video from Monday, but I talked about that level right there at $1.18 as an area of resistance. And I mean, the power of charts, check it out, right where the price got rejected there. And I'm not here to brag about myself, but I am bragging about charts. So definitely highly consider learning more about charts. And if you don't believe me, I'm not offended, just go back, watch a video from Monday in the archive, and you'll see that that red line was there and right there. Just beautiful stuff there. As far as the overarching chart, supports, everything is doing great. That overarching level of support, the trend line there, as you can see, wasn't even close to being tested today. In the very near term, if the price can stay above that purple line there, that would be best case scenario. But even if the price doesn't hold above there, not the end of the world, because again, you do still have that overarching trend line down there. And then as already discussed, key area of resistance remains up there at $1.18. But all in all, the trend continues in the upwards direction, and that's what it's all about. Next one here, SOAR. Very, very interesting pattern here and setup now that we have, the dust settling, and the dust was all up here. I mean, I think at one point the price was there, and then it dropped and dropped and dropped. And at this point, it becomes a very valid question to say, was this just some sort of gap and trap pump and dump? And as of now, seemingly not, because there is a nice uptrending movement here that's formed after that bottom. So after, like I said, people started asking that question, well, then the price has slowly started to creep its way back upwards, giving us that area of support. And then in terms of areas of resistance, beautiful level right across the top here. So again, no, special talent on my part to see this level right here around the 39-cent mark. Got to think a lot of people are watching it. So we essentially have this wedge formation. So it's just a question of, can the price come up here and get the break through there? And if the break does happen, does that create a self-fulfilling prophecy of more momentum to come? We'll see what happens. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching right at my site, there's an area on the webpage here that you can use to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, Nvda, and overall a good solid move, and I'm just going to make an adjustment here to get this resistance moved higher and put it right at that level, which now puts us at 140.50 as that main area of resistance. And I should note, assuming you're bullish, whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted in the upwards direction, that is a good thing, and that's what happened here. So you can see right here, 140.50, I'll call it one of those self-fulfilling prophecy levels, because you got to think a lot of people have noticed this dynamic. So more than reasonable to think that the price comes up here and pushes up through there, that break could create additional buying pressure. And if the price can push up through there, don't get me wrong, that is a good thing, but I wouldn't get overly excited about it because not that far away, you do have that pink line up there, which on my chart denotes the 200 period moving average. So just keep that in mind. Again, a good step in the right direction, but if the price can then get above that 200 period moving average, that would be even better. In terms of areas of support, same as yesterday. Ideally speaking, you want to see the price stay above that purple line right there, which is, the price isn't anywhere close to even threatening that. But even if the price were to drop below there and then break below, then a much more important level would be that secondary area of support down there at 135.80. But all things considered, very nice day today. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. Talked about this sideways channel in yesterday's video. You had the area of resistance, the area of support. And unfortunately, the bears did win out. Now, with that being said, it's not like the chart's destroyed or epically smashed. It was just a little bit more of a pullback than what would probably have been preferably, but not the end of the world. So let me just get rid of that level. Because from the overarching standpoint, the price is still very much so in an uptrend. It's still very much so above its key moving averages, still nicely above the purple line, 50 period moving average, still nicely above the pink line, the 200 period moving average. So yes, today, not the great. Now, if you're a day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 3 seconds, well then yes, from that standpoint, the chart's a train wreck. But assuming you care about just the bigger picture, nothing to panic about with the gap down and the slight pullback here, because the price, like I said, still has plenty of opportunities to build those higher bases. On the very near term, though, I do want to add in, there's definitely some selling pressure that's, you can see via that. So if the price can push up through there, then yeah, reasonable to think that it could make another nice run back in the upwards direction. But like I said, big picture-wise, everything is still fine. Next one, CTNT, and this one's starting to look a little bit shaky, but with that being said, within the gap up context, there still seems to be an interesting pattern here. In fact, one of my favorites, and that is the falling wedge pattern, which is the bullish pattern. You would think falling wedge means bearish, but that's actually a rising wedge. So let me get this pattern drawn into play. And then I can change that to green for support. And there we have our falling wedge pattern. Again, falling wedge within the bullish context being the gap up. Now, that doesn't mean that for sure guaranteed this thing is going to explode back to the upwards direction. There are no guarantees. That is why risk management matters. But it is a falling wedge. So if you like this price range down around the $5 range, you like falling wedge patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, CHRS. And we have ourselves a nice little pattern here. So let me just get this drawn into play. We have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. And then just to keep it the same color, make it easiest to see. So we have resistance, we have support, we have the nice upward move right there. This would be a bull flag, bull pennant pattern. Whatever you feel most comfortable calling it. So if you like bull pennants, you like bull flags, you like stocks, down below the $5 range, but you don't like penny stocks or you like them up over $1, here you go. Next one, OPTT, brutal gap down here. The good news is it's not like it was a gap down, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have traded for a while, but some of these have a gap down and then they just bleed and bleed and bleed the remainder of the day. That was not the case. In fact, it did the opposite. It put in a low here, and then this late afternoon, it actually just put in a higher low. So you now have some stair-steps progressing the upwards direction. So it's just a question of, is this the start of a bigger move to the upside? I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of those lines up there. And really, if this is going to get back into its normal movement, which to give credit, I mean, this was some beautiful, beautiful movement. But if it's going to have any chance at all to get back into that groove of things, the key line there is the purple line, 50 period moving average. You would expect it to now act as resistance because the price is down below it, and you can see opening 30 minutes. That's essentially where it did get knocked back down. But that would be step number one. Now, don't get me wrong. This is nice movement from where it was here to where it's bounced up to. That is upwards movement. That's a sign in the right direction. But I wouldn't get overly excited about it until the price can truly prove itself. And I am defining, quote unquote, truly proven itself as getting, like I said, up above that purple line right there. The level that I would consider a must-hold, do or die level is that pink line down there, 200 period moving average. Price isn't anywhere close to it, but if the price were to drop down to there and then break down below there, that would be a massive red flag, as that would essentially be putting the price right back to where it was before this big old move started right here. So not saying that'll occur, but just trying to explain why I would consider that level at the 200 period moving average such an important area. But yeah, no doubt about it, today a pretty rough day. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a moment, but for you stock traders out there, and if you joined what you saw here, then definitely go get signed up for the free class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, December 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. And then also, if you enjoy these top 10 videos and you want to support the channel in a very easy and free way, please hit that subscribe button. Really helps out and goes a long way. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. And that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7. So in order for this video and analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible, I want to look at some longer time frames and then walk you through some questions. And based on how you answer those questions, that'll determine the current status of Bitcoin whenever you're actually watching this video. And nothing really new to report, assuming you've watched previous videos. We have a couple of key technical levels, and it's more so just checking base with where's the price at relative to these areas. So let's start with question number one. Let's just say you're watching this video 15 hours after I upload it. Where's the price at relative to that red line right there? If you're answering the question that the price is up above that level when you're watching this, that is a good thing. Now, how good of a thing? That's where, that's where let common sense take over. So if you're saying, well, Clay, the price is right here, that's good. That means a breakout has occurred. If you're saying, well, Clay, the price is actually way up here, that's even better, and that's a very, very impressive breakout. But it all starts with where's the price at relative to that trend line. Now, maybe you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is still down below there. Okay, next immediate question, where's the price at relative to 92,500? If you are somehow answering the question, the price is down below there, not a good thing. Now, how bad of a thing is it? Well, again, common sense, how far down below the price is it from that level? The further down below, the worse the situation has become. Or maybe you're just saying, well, Clay, price is still above there, but it is still down below there. At that point, one word can summarize that current moment in time, and that would just be consolidation. And that's what it is right now over the past 24 hours since the last update I did, is the price is still just chopping around between these two levels. And that'll probably be the case for a while. But then again, it is Bitcoin, so I suppose it could all of a sudden just snap upwards. But those are really the two main dynamics, at least in my opinion, to keep an eye on. So keep your eye on those levels, ask yourself those questions, and then that'll keep this relevant until I'm back to update it again. And as I invited the stock traders, I am inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for this free class, because what you'll learn about can and certainly should be used within the world of crypto and Bitcoin. So as mentioned earlier, it'll be pretty soon, Thursday, December 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So go get signed up, and I hope to see you there. And again, if you enjoy these top 10 videos, if you enjoy me doing Bitcoin, please help out the channel, support the channel in a super easy way, and you can do that by hitting that subscribe button. So thanks for watching. Go get signed up for that free class, and please hit subscribe.